Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. We're looking at my new weather center here. This one's got Wi-Fi. That means that even if I'm away from the cabin, I can look back to see what the weather's like right on my smartphone. Ain't that cool? But anyway, yeah, I wanted to get this one because this one actually has everything in it. This one has a rain gauge in it. This one tells you which direction the wind is coming from. It tells you the wind speed. It's solar charged right there. It tells you where north, south, east, and west is. All of that stuff. So in case you get lost in your cabin, you don't know which way the door is, and it says head north on your smartphone. Well, nah, just kidding. Anyway, yeah, I put this in yesterday. And this is the mechanism that goes on the roof. It's totally wireless, and it's a pretty heavy little unit. It actually comes with its own little bubble level right there in the center. So when you're putting it up, you can make sure you get it level, because the level is important for the wind part. If this isn't really close to perfect level, of course, it's going to want to do one of those in the wind, or it's going to spin too quickly and when the wind's coming from one direction and slower from the other direction. So you want to make sure you try to keep that as level as possible. Anyway, this is the 5-in-1 professional unit. I found this at Lowe's, Lowe's Center, Lowes. I looked at before once on Tractor Supply, and they sell them. And Tractor Supply was a little bit cheaper than this one was at Lowe's, but Lowe's gives me a 10% military discount, so actually this one was cheaper at Lowe's than the one I would have got at Tractor Supply. So anyway, wanted to show you that before we got into some of the other stuff here. The winds have been blowing constantly here since Sunday. I mean, just constantly. So here's the unit hooked up right now. And of course, there's no rain to show on the thing, but the temperature's now starting to drop. It's getting a little cool. The humidity's at 51% out there, 35% in here, but it's 80 here in the cabin. So I'm fairly comfortable in here, no big deal. And it tells you what your indoor comfort is here, future forecast, and it says learning right there. What that's doing is actually learning about this location in this area a little at a time by the daily weather, and then it can predict weather very, very efficiently. You see the winds, well, it just dropped down to 18, coming right out of the west, and that's pretty interesting. But it's been swinging west-southwest all day. There it goes. Now it's coming out southwest at 24. Last night, I was up and down all night long. I thought the cabin was going to do a Wizard of Oz thing there and take off, and I was going to say, Toto, we're not in Kansas. Well, we never were in Kansas, Toto. All right, so anyway, I got that covered. I just wanted to let you know what was going on there. My turbine, of course, was kicking out electricity like crazy, and I'm at like umpteen 1.6, 1.7 kilowatts of top wattage that came out of that thing from the winds last night. Anyway, look, got a pot full of eggs here, and we're going to talk a little bit about eggs today. One of the things that people always ask me is, how do you hard boil an egg so they're easy to peel and stuff like that? Every time I do it, when I try peeling them, they come apart. Half the egg is still stuck in the shell and all of that. All right, let me give you some tips on this. First of all, you start with a pan with cool water. You could just use your tap water, and you don't have to put anything in it. You don't have to add salt or oils or vinegar or anything like that. Just water. Put all your eggs in the cold water. Okay, now, if any eggs float, Anybody know what that means? Let me see. Oh, yeah, you. Right there right behind the camera, you. That means the egg is bad. Throw it away. If an egg floats, it's no good. Throw it away. Feed it to the dog. Raw, shell and all. They like them. It's good protein, good calcium. It's very good for them. So anyway, you notice that all these have sunk. None of them are floating. They're all ready to go. Now I've got a little over 2 dozen in here because I'm going to end up pickling these and putting some peppers in, so I have pickled peppered eggs. And I got my jars over there all cleaned already, ready to go. And I got my pickle juice all put together now. Pickle juice. I'm going to get off on the eggs for a second, but on pickle juice, I'll give you some tips on that. Save all your pickle juice, but don't use it if people, your kids or whoever, got lazy and just tried sticking their fingers in the jar to get out whatever was in the pickle juice. The vinegar, as you know, is a good cleaning substance for cleaning off your counters and things like that. And it will dissolve the oils in your fingers just by putting your fingers into it. And it'll go into the pickle juice and you'll have bacteria growing in there. You don't want that. So make sure that everybody uses a utensil to get the whatever's out of the pickle juice. Don't use their fingers. Another neat little trick I like with eggs is to use some bamboo skewers. And you can even put a little tag on each one with each person's name on it so they can use their own skewer over and over. As long as they don't put it in their mouth, they just use it for taking the egg out of the jar. And once these things are hard boiled and the shells are off, you just stick your skewer through the egg you want and carefully lift it out of the jar. That's simple. Put it on your plate and go back in and get a pepper if you want. Same way. That keeps everybody's hands out of the pickle juice. All right, so back to the eggs. So how do we do these? Now, when I was in Johnson and Wales back in Rhode Island years ago, I was taught, that's a culinary arts school if you don't know. Anyway, I was taught, and very adamant about it, that you don't have hard-boiled eggs, you have hard-cooked eggs. You don't have soft-boiled eggs, you have soft-cooked eggs. And the reason for that is you don't boil the eggs. Well, in a way you do. What you do is you put the eggs in cold water like this. No cover. Turn it on high heat. Remember, nothing in the water, no salt, no vinegar, no oils or anything like that, olive oils, and people try all that stuff. You don't have to add any of that. Just the water itself. High heat. Bring it up to a boil. Once it starts boiling, shut the heat off and put the cover on the pan. And then set your timer. 6 minutes if you want soft boiled or soft cooked. And 12 minutes if you want hard cooked. Okay, so that's the way you do it. Now, if you try to take those right out of the hot water and try to peel them, good luck. You're going to have torn up eggs everywhere. As soon as they're done, with the timer goes off for your 6 or your 12 minutes, you want to stop the cooking. Dump the hot water out and put cold water in right away. And if you have them available, put a bunch of ice cubes in there and cool the eggs down quickly to stop the cooking. You don't want to go past that 12 minutes or that 6 minutes for the cooking time. What happens is that you'll end up with a semi-soft boiled egg or a soft cooked egg. My instructor would be all over me for saying that. Or you will end up with a overcooked, hard-cooked egg. And then when you can tell they're overcooked is they have green between the white and the yolk. That little green layer right there is actually sulfur from overcooking them. I mean, you can still eat them, and you probably won't smell or taste the sulfur, but I prefer mine to be just cooked just right. And so you're going to get them out of the water, get them cooled down quickly, and then if possible, you want them to be 100% cool before you start peeling them. All right? So what you're going to do is take them out of your pan after they've cooled down with the water and the ice, put them in a bowl, put them in the refrigerator for at least a couple of hours. and cool them down. Now you can take those eggs out, break the shell up all over the place on a hard surface, and start peeling them, and they'll peel very easily. And I just peel them, throw the peels away, drop the egg into my jars. Once I get a jar filled up, then I add my pickle juice, my pickled brine. Now you can make your own, or you can save all of the pickle juice that you get from other pickle products and mix those all together. You can buy pickled peppers, and that saves you time because you already got the peppers to add to the eggs. So you could throw a couple of those in there. For a little extra zest, I like mine a little spicy. I'll take a really hot jalapeno and cut the stem off of it and dice it up. The insides complete with the seeds and all of that. You know, the seeds and those little, what do they call them? The ribs inside are very hot. That's where the heat is. So you chop those up in fine cuts and drop those down in there along with your other peppers. It gives them a little extra zest. All right, so I'm going to be getting these going here in a little bit. I didn't want to bore you watching the whole thing cook, so I am going to do these right now while this is uploading. So flame on, flame on, and remember, you want to cook these, bring it up to a boil, shut the heat off, put the cover on, don't lift the cover for 15 minutes, and you'll have hard cooked eggs. And they'll be the best hard cooked eggs ever. It's that simple, all right? And you'll have people tell you, oh, that's because you had old eggs. Oh, that's because you had fresh eggs. Oh, that's because you didn't put salt in the water. Baloney. It's cooking them at the proper time by not boiling the egg to heck inside of the shell. Just bring it up to a boil, cover it, shut the heat off, let them sit in that hot water. That's all you have to do. All right? And then when they're absolutely 100% cool, there's no warmth to that egg at all left, then peel them. And you'll get a nice, clean egg that looks really good and tastes really good. That's all I have for you today. Questions and comments down below. I'll show you the finished product when it's done, and we'll go from there. Don't forget, thumbs up. Don't forget subscriptions down there. Don't forget to click that little bell after you click the subscription so you get notified. And don't forget, I've said this many times, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe or click the little bell. That's absolutely 100% free. So get on there, everybody. This is G Bear signing off.